we're very pleased to be here at NRB and to have Mike Scott, the co-founder of Pure Flix, here with us. So, Mike, tell us about. I know probably so many people already have heard of Pure Flix, but tell us about your vision, your company, how it all got started.
Well, I just want to say first, thank you for letting me on. I love your show. It's a great show. And Pure Flix, it started way back in '05, but it goes back even further. I grew up in the church. I was a pastor's kid. And I was always trying to figure out how to marry my faith and my background and my passion in film and photography. And that came, spent 15 years in advertising, and that came when I launched Pure Flix. And I launched it with David A.R. White, a good partner of mine. And we wanted to create some great faith-based films. And that slowly grew over time into creating a couple films, to doing 8, 10 films a year, acquiring other people's films, and then it went into distribution of those films, and then ultimately also into theatrical distribution and the streaming company. So it's been an incredible journey that God's put us on, and I'm just so, I just give everything to the Lord for where we're at today and where we sit, and it's just been an amazing journey.
That is awesome. Well, the streaming, we've all heard of the streaming wars and how much competition there is. I mean, obviously you're in Christian content, but how does Pure Flix set itself apart?
I think it's very simple. All the content on our service, we're here to be a light in the darkness. You will see that all the content brings you closer to God, not further away, and that's the distinction. I think that people in this world are craving something for their spirit. They're seeing so much dark content, whether it's language, sex, violence, all the different things that you see out there and what it's portraying. When you get something that's inspiring, hopeful, themes of redemption, forgiveness, I think those are things that are important to tell, and they can be told in incredible stories that are heart-moving.
So how dangerous are some of these other mainstream platforms? You know, we hear so much about Disney Plus, about Netflix, and all of those things, and how they're influencing the generation. How has Pure Flix really pushed back against Netflix and Disney?
I think they all have content. You know, it's interesting. They have a lot of content us as Christians shouldn't be taking. There are some good pieces on there too. You'll find even some faith on some of those services. But I think that they're out there serving the masses. There's a lot of agendas being pushed, from whatever view it is, and I think not all those agendas are scriptural, right? Mm-hmm. And so, and I think it's not just one piece of content, it's what you're consuming constantly. Mm-hmm. And nowadays, we're consuming 10 hours of media a day as adults and kids and everything. And what goes in is what comes out. That's right. What you're seeing in society, and that's why this is dangerous. And it goes beyond just the Netflixes and the Disneys and all these different companies. It goes to the social media world and everything like that. We need to take inventory ourselves and say, we got to get something into our lives that's really going to make a difference.
Yeah, I agree. So what are some of the entertainment programs that Pure Flix offers? Is it just for adults? Is it for kids? What are some of the most popular?
Well, when a lot of times when you hear faith, people think it's just some, faith drama. It's going to be boring. I say we got action films, we got comedies, we got romance, we got faith dramas, we got TV series, tons of TV series. And so we got a diverse selection. We got thousands of movies, hundreds and hundreds of TV shows, and then we have an entire selection for the kids. We have every VeggieTales, Bible Man, Superbook, all of these great ones, plus new shows and new animations and new kids series coming. So there's something for everybody in the family, whether you want to all watch together or you each have your separate tastes. We have it. And so I think we're not just trying to serve one individual in the family, we're trying to serve the whole family.
That's good. What is the next step for Pure Flix? What's on the horizon?
Oh, we got some great things. You know what? I'm always excited about the originals that we're doing. These are the productions we're doing, original movies for the service. And it's great because we have a movie coming up called God's Country Song. It's God, it's country, it's got country music in it. The star is great, and it all deals with the issue of fatherhood right around Father's Day, which I think is so important. A lot of times we talk about the mother, but I think fathers are just as important as the mother in people's lives and what they mean. And this really, you see God's redemptive work in this father and what happens to his life. And I think it's really incredible. And then we have on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have a new series coming, Revelation Road. End times, action, post-apocalyptic, Mad Max meets the end times. And you get the action, you get the adventure, you get the guys going and everything like that. It's really fun. I've watched it and it's not boring. And none of the shows are boring, but it's got that adrenaline to it. And then we're getting ready this summer to shoot a new God's Not Dead movie.
Oh.
And we're really going to debate, does God belong in the public square?
Awesome. And when's that going to come out?
It'll come out probably springtime of this next year, and I think it'll be timely around the issues and everything like this. Yes, there's a lot of issues that divide this country, but the question I think those issues can be resolved is, let's bring God to the center of those issues.
That's where he should be, right?
That's right.
Well, good. We're so glad to have you here today. How can our listeners and viewers find you, and what kind of prices can they expect to?
Absolutely. How do I get this? What's strange? You can get it on any app, TV. If you have smart TV, Roku, Apple TV, whatever device, iOS, Android, we have an app for you. You can sign up at pureflix.com and then go to the app and start watching. It's one monthly fee, $7.99. You get that, or you can sign up for an annual plan and get a little discount for $69. And it's awesome because you got so much choice. You can watch as much as you want, anytime, any device, and I think it'll be a blessing for your family. I'll never forget, it's one of the things that I took was, my son was, we were watching a show, this was several years ago, and it was that moment, we're on the couch and you're covering his eyes, and you hold this thing, and you're like, oh, you're waiting for the scene to get over, and after the scene passed, he said, can you pause the show? I said, sure, and he goes, why is it okay for you to see it and not me? And sometimes we should be vigilant about what our kids see, but what are we taking in as adults, and how does that affect us? And so I think sometimes taking inventory, finding some stuff that's going to bring you closer to God, you'll be blessed, your family will be blessed. Sign up for Pure Flix. You'll have a great time. It's entertaining with some incredible messages.
It is, and as a stewardship ministry, it's not just resources that we have to steward. We're all given the same amount of time every day, right? And so if we allocate some of our time towards entertainment, and it's not God-honoring entertainment, we're wasting a good resource. So I just encourage all of our listeners and viewers to check out Pure Flix and get a subscription and listen to them.
Sign up today. You can't wait. I say try it for 30 days, and it'll change you. You'll realize what you're. And then what's interesting is when you go on the other services, you'll see the stark contrast, and you'll be like, wow, I've been taking that in versus this. Makes a big difference. It really realigns you to the things that are good and God-honoring.
That's awesome. Well, Michael Scott, thanks for being here today on Financial Issues. We appreciate you hearing the call of God and following it boldly.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much.